Crime 5. How did you know, Dr. Brown, that your wife died from poison?
Well, being a chemist, I'm well acquainted with poisons and their effects. As soon as I saw my wife, I knew that her physical appearance could only have been the result of poison.
Do you keep any drugs or poisons round the house?
Well, yes, I do. I sometimes work in my laboratory in the cellar.
Members of the household could get to the stuff rather easily then, eh?
Yes, I presume they could.
It's quite possible for someone to pick up a bottle accidentally, isn't it?
Oh, dear, yes, I'm afraid so. I haven't been too careful with just the nurse, the cook, and myself around.
I understand that your wife has been ill for quite some time.
Oh, yes, 10 years. She was an invalid for the past 2 years. We've had Miss Calthorne as her constant companion and nurse all those years.
You are Miss Calthorne?
Yes, I am.
She's been wonderful to my wife. Took care of her better than a mother cares for a child. Did everything. Washed her, dressed her, tasted her food to make sure it wasn't too hot or too cold or badly seasoned. Read to her. Oh, I've been most grateful.
Mrs. Brown trusted me completely. She was my friend. It was a horrible accident.
Oh, Doctor, what did you find?
Poison, just as her husband said. Acted within a quarter of an hour.
I see. Anything else?
No, that's about all I can tell you.
Oh, good, thanks.
Very well, Inspector.
Miss Calthorne, were you with Mrs. Brown all the time?
Yes, Inspector. While I was feeding her, she complained of feeling ill, and then she was seized by a spasm, gagged, and became discoloured. I've been nursing for 20 years, and I've seen the symptoms of poison before. While I was calling for Dr. Brown, I gave her something to counteract the poison, but the poison acted too quickly.
When did Dr. Brown finally get here?
Well, I heard Miss Calthorne calling me. By the time I arrived, my wife was dead. I don't blame Miss Calthorne. She did the best she could. I think it was a terrible accident.
Well, Dr. Brown, I disagree. It wasn't an accident. Miss Calthorne, would you be so kind as to accompany me to headquarters? You're under arrest for murder. Rather unusual, Miss Calthorne. You didn't care who was suspected, including yourself. With all the drugs and poisons around, you were sure that we would end up with death caused by accidental poisoning. We could have suspected the doctor or the cook or you, and you probably would have got away with it. But you made one slip. You agreed with the doctor when he said that you did everything for Mrs. Brown, including tasting her food. If the food was accidentally poisoned, you would have died too. Therefore, Mrs. Brown must have been poisoned during or after her meal. You talked her into believing she was poisoned by the food so she would do anything to save herself. That is, take your so-called remedy. Only it wasn't a remedy. It was poison.